Welcome. Drink less, feel fresh, family, to this week's episode of the Monday Fresh AF call. We are diving into something that is very close to my heart, which is awareness trumps willpower. A very big problem in the alcohol reduction industry is the thought or the intention that you need willpower and you need to use a lot of willpower to get through today. And today we're going to debunk that myth and theory and provide an insightful approach to what it means to actually practice awareness and how it creates more long-term change than just suppressing and using willpower to get through each and every day. In saying that, always remember you can head to drinklessfeelfresh.com to register for these live classes. If you're listening to this on Spotify or you're watching the YouTube series, hello. You can come to these classes live and we urge you and welcome you too. You can rock out with us, post any questions, comments, feedback during the call, and we'd love to engage with you. You'll notice I'm using the word we, but however, Nat Hodges, the incredibly talented Nat Hodges, is still away at the moment. He'll be back with us live next Monday. So I've got you all to myself this morning. One of the biggest problems and challenges in the alcohol reduction industry is it's actually two things. Number one, people using a lot of willpower to get through their day. So there's feelings coming up. You want to switch off at the end of the day without alcohol, but you have a busy day, a stressful day, a long day, you're tired, you're bored, you're lethargic, you're excited, you want to celebrate, whatever the feeling might be. And we use willpower to suppress it. We just use willpower to push through the day. And the other really unfortunate experience that people have when it comes to changing their relationship with alcohol is it really is, over 6 to 7 years doing this, one of the most common challenges we see is that people have this black and white mentality of either I'm drinking or I'm not drinking. I'm drinking or I'm not drinking. And whilst that's great to start your journey with detoxes and drinking or not drinking, it's not what you want to be looking at long term. And here's why. When you bring that mentality, a symptom of that mentality is this. You'll do really well when you're not drinking, but when you do pick up a beverage, all responsibility goes out the window and you're living in a black and white land of, well, I've already started, I may as well finish. And this is actually the real problem when it comes to changing your relationship with alcohol. It's realizing that you can have choice and freedom and control even once you've started, okay? 80 to 90% of people that I speak to and hear from usually say to me, Tom, the biggest challenge is once I start, I don't stop. And for someone, for a lot of people, that's, I can't have one glass of wine, I always have four. Or for some people, that's, I can't have one glass, I have two bottles. Or I don't have 3 beers with some friends, I have 8. And that so often comes back to the mentality of, well, once I've started, I may as well keep going. And so here's the difference between willpower. I want to share it really simply for you. Very practical class and lesson today. Here's the difference between awareness and willpower. I'll start actually with awareness. Awareness is living in awareness, and awareness also can be described as taking responsibility regardless of what you're doing, okay? So living in awareness of taking responsibility of what you're doing. The majority of people, if they have a relationship with alcohol that they don't love and respect, they stop practicing awareness the minute they start drinking. Okay, so it's an easy scapegoat to turn off responsibility and just, some people say, just live in the moment and just get what I want. And so we switch off awareness. Awareness is actually the ability to continue practicing and being aware of what you're currently experiencing, what you are feeling, and also being aware of your decisions. Okay, and that can happen first drinking, second drinking, third drinking, fourth drinking, fifth drinking. Most people have what they feel is a bit of a turning point, and I'll give you a story to explain this really well. Most people do have a turning point where they feel like, I was kind of choosing to have some beverages, and then after that, I was just hooked to the beverages. Jump into the chat panel or let me know if you've experienced that if you're watching this live. It's that experience of like, yeah, I just really want to drink, and then you're having your fourth or fifth drink, and you're like, I don't even want these, but I need them. So most people are aware of that, where they turn off their awareness and their responsibility mode. Now, willpower, on the other hand, doesn't actually require you to be aware. Willpower just requires you to suppress any and all awareness that you may have. So thoughts and feelings may come up, disturbing physical experiences where you're socializing with other people and someone's saying to you, have a drink, and that's kicking thoughts and feelings on in the body. Willpower is an incredible mechanism. However, it's really important to understand that the negative consequences of using only willpower just suppresses the things that you're trying to become aware of anyway. When it comes to changing your relationship with alcohol, it's nothing more than changing the relationship you have with yourself. And you can't change the relationship you have with yourself if you're not practicing awareness. Does that make sense? It's a really important topic. I try to explain it in such a simple way because it is a really big myth in the alcohol reduction industry that causes a lot of people pain, which is I've just got to push through. I've just got to push through. I've just got to get through another day. I've just got to get through another day. Well, to be honest with you, no, you don't. Whether you're drinking or not drinking, the only thing that you're required to do is to keep living with awareness and responsibility. And I tell you right now, without a shadow of a doubt, if you continue to practice awareness, not just when you're not drinking, but even when you're consuming beverages, even when you're at home alone and you're into your third beverage or your fourth drinking, are you practicing awareness? Are you becoming aware of what you're doing? Remaining in responsibility mode. I'll give you an example. We had one of our new members join our 30-day Drink Less Feel Fresh Detox Challenge, which starts in about 7 days time. And they're a new member. They don't have previous insights or education regarding changing your relationship with alcohol. They're what we call a newbie. They're new to the journey. They're unaware of how much magnificence and beauty is on the journey. And the reason why I share that with you is I'm letting you know that they haven't had prior educational learning. So the result they experienced is so raw that it's so worth sharing today. Now, before the 30-day detox challenge starts, they get access to our community and all of the cool classes and lessons that we run. And one of the classes last week that we're running was the art of practicing awareness and the number one question to help you continue practicing awareness for long-term alcohol reduction. And I shared with this member, I'll replace her name. Let's say her name is Kim. Kim said, how do I continue to practice awareness where all I'm doing is living in autopilot of having drinks and then beating myself up that I'm having to drink too many drinks? How am I actually meant to practice awareness, Tom? I said, Kim, I'll share with you the number one question that you can ask yourself that will help you taking so much responsibility that inevitably your alcohol reduction is going to decline faster your alcohol intake levels are going to decline faster than ever. Not only that, you're going to be able to break old patterns at the times where you thought it was almost impossible to break. And Kim said to me, well, look, the hardest thing for me to ever do is like once I've started, I can't stop. It's the thing that we hear all the time. It's like, well, yeah, but if I break that promise to myself and I have the first beverage, I'm just going to end up having the 3 or 4. And so the number one awareness question, and I did share with you that this class was going to be practical. The number one awareness question is to ask yourself, what am I feeling now? What am I feeling now? Now, if you're new to these class schedules, you can watch all of them, you can catch up. But one of the things you'll learn in previous classes that we've run that are all found on Spotify and YouTube, excuse me, is that habitual patterns like alcohol consumption are emotional suppressors. In fact, we are not just creatures of habit, we're creatures of habit because we're creatures of emotion. Okay, so I've shared that many times and I share it all the time because it does debunk a big myth in the industry, which is it's just a habit, it's just a habit, it's just a habit. Well, habits are formed to manage mood and emotion. Does that make sense? Habits are formed to manage mood and emotion. The reason why people say humans are creatures of habit and we like repetitive rituals and habits on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, year-to-year basis is because we're actually creatures of emotion. And all of our habits help us manage those emotions. Okay. And so I shared with Kim on the class, it was only about a week ago, under a week ago. I said, one of the best questions you can ever ask yourself during the day, once you start drinking, after your beverages, the day after if you're feeling hungover, the day after if you're feeling great, one of the best questions you can ever ask yourself is, what am I feeling now? And I challenged this new Drink Less Feel Fresh member to next time she had a beverage to not turn into autopilot, to think less about, you'll notice on these classes and the way we do things at Drink Less Feel Fresh, we care less about whether you're drinking or not, and we care more about, are you practicing awareness and taking responsibility? And we've seen that the proof is in the pudding. The results suggest that when you practice awareness and you live in responsibility on a higher and higher level, your need to sabotage or run behaviors that you end up feeling guilty for dramatically declines. So I shared to Kim, practice the question of, what am I feeling right now? Now, within 24 hours, so within 24 hours ago, before this class has started that you're listening to right now, I received a message from Kim sharing an incredible result that she'd experienced from practicing what I'm sharing with you now. And that is, Kim finished a long day, had 1 or 2 beverages, And just before the third beverage, asked herself, just to practice this, what am I feeling right now? And she experienced an awareness of, I won't do it justice right now, but off the top of my head, it was along the lines of, I'm just bored and tired. And incredibly, a pattern this person hasn't been able to stop for years, a pattern this person has tried willpower, a pattern this would love to have changed for so long in her life. And what happened was, from asking yourself the question and living in awareness instead of autopilot and instead of willpower, which is just put it down, just put it down, just put it down, which we all know just leads to us picking it up another drink anyway. This incredible person asked themselves the question, what am I feeling now? And with the awareness of, you know what, I'm feeling bored, tired, and just freaking over it. And what's fascinating about that, no one told this person not to have another beverage. I didn't tell this person not to stop drinking. No one other than themselves practiced awareness rather than willpower. Ask themselves this question, what am I feeling now? And incredibly, that person, for the first time in their life, ended up pouring that third glass of wine down the sink. Now, please take what I'm sharing with you all the way to the bank, so to speak. Excuse me. The practice of awareness and taking responsibility once you've started drinking can create so much change for you. And the biggest unfortunate myth or approach to reducing your alcohol intake in the traditional system is that you should never drink again. And the negative consequence of that is you never get to learn how powerful you are. You never, excuse me. Just clearing my throat there. If you're watching this on Spotify or YouTube, you'll notice these are recorded live. We don't edit or snippet them. So that was me clearing my throat. And now I'm just having a sip of water. If you take on the traditional approach and you choose to never drink again, that's fantastic. And I wish all the best for you, and I hope you absolutely crush it. But as I said, one of the negative consequences of that, you never learn how powerful you are. One of the easiest ways to change your relationship with alcohol is stop drinking for 24 hours. One of the hardest ways to change your relationship with alcohol is have one or two beverages and then stop yourself. Now, the reason why I share that is because this person is becoming aware of how powerful they are. In their first experience of changing their relationship with alcohol, they've conquered one of what's known to be the hardest things ever. That's why in the traditional alcohol reduction system, they say, just don't pick up a beverage. Just don't pick up a beverage. You just got to fight the urge to pick up that beverage, which is great and works for a lot of people, but it's not the answer for so many more people. And so within the first 5 days of this person changing their relationship with alcohol, they've just overcome one of the biggest hurdles that they're probably ever experiencing, which is, I can have 2 drinks and then stop. Like, that is incredible. That is fantastic. That is a symptom of practicing awareness more so than willpower. That is a symptom of changing your relationship with alcohol, regardless of whether you're not drinking or you are drinking. And that's what we'll wrap up the call with today, is understanding that if there's anything you can do on your alcohol reduction journey, if you're learning to drink less and feel fresh, if you're looking to go sober, if you're looking to never drink again, if you're looking to reduce your alcohol intake to a level that you love and respect, at the end of the day, the journey doesn't start when you stop drinking. It starts today. Practicing awareness, not when you just stop drinking, which is so difficult. You see, people struggle so often in the traditional approach because apparently they're only succeeding when they're not drinking. This person, Kim, succeeded massively when she was having 2 drinks and then she stopped. Probably one of the best results she'll experience, which is just incredibly fascinating. And that's the art of drinking less and feeling fresh. And what we do in our 30-day detox challenges, we're not overly concerned on whether you're drinking or not. We're concerned on whether you are practicing awareness, becoming aware of your feeling, becoming aware of your thoughts, becoming aware of your triggers and your emotions, and therefore knowing that you are capable beyond measure to commit to your promises, to make different decisions, and to create what's called behavioral flexibility, otherwise known as behavior change. You don't have to be a sober person to experience change. That's not how it works. You can practice this even during your alcohol consumption, which is incredible. It's a big taboo myth and experience of, like, this doesn't work if you're drinking. You just got to stop drinking. You just got to stop drinking. It's debilitating. You can go to your next corporate or personal social event, whether it's a work function or a wedding or an engagement. You're allowed to be a couple of drinks in, and you're allowed to stop and pause and reflect and ask yourself, what am I feeling? You might get the awareness of, yeah, that I really feel like another beverage right now. Great. You might also get the awareness of like, oh, I don't really want one. I just kind of felt like one because everyone else was having one. And you notice you might order a soda water or sparkling. That's the main key lesson and theme from today's class, is that it's always appropriate to practice awareness. Do not get caught up in the traditional thinking of either, well, now I've started drinking, I've stuffed it up, so I'll just start again tomorrow. That's one of the most dysfunctional ways to go about your alcohol reduction journey. A couple of key lessons and insights for you, viewers and listeners. Number one, awareness trumps willpower. Number two, practice awareness not just when you're sober, but practice awareness when you're drinking. Key lesson and learning number three for today is that you're already on the journey of alcohol reduction. Please do not get swept up in thinking, oh, but I had a couple of drinks tonight, it must mean I'm off the journey. No, part of your alcohol reduction journey is you consuming alcohol. That's how it works. How are you ever meant to change your relationship with alcohol long term if you don't have a couple of drinks here and there along the way and live in awareness? And key lesson number four, if you're looking to ask yourself some great questions throughout the day and throughout your next drinking sessions, ask yourself the question of, what am I feeling? Because the number one experience or outcome that you're looking for when it comes to changing your relationship with alcohol is becoming aware of what you're feeling. And therefore, because you're aware of what you're feeling, you get to choose what so-called brackets habits that you are forming and creating, as opposed to living on autopilot. You get to choose how you manage your mood and emotion, which is the number one reason why anyone and everybody drinks more than they'd like, to manage mood and emotion. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to zip my lips because I could keep this class going for at least another hour or two. I trust you've absolutely loved this episode of the Feel Fresh Mondays series and class schedule. You can head to drinklessfeelfresh.com to register for these classes. If you're watching these live, so good to have you here. Same time, same place next Monday, 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time every week. Kickstart the week feeling fresh AF. Hold yourself accountable. Have the conversation that matters to you, and notice your alcohol reduction just look after itself over time. Can't wait to see you same time, same place next week. If you have any questions or feedback, always feel free to send me an email, info@drinklessfeelfresh.com. Here's to drink less and feeling fresh. Have an incredible week. Drink Less, Feel Fresh family. Bye for now.